my god, it looks super dark. Maybe it's because it is dark. Hello, everybody. It's currently like... It's literally like midnight. Oh my god, how spooky. Oh, what if it was Halloween? Hello, everyone, and it's night during the day. Today, we are entering the cemetery. Today's going to be a cool episode because... I totally have a really cool cliffhanger I can end it on for you guys, and I know you guys all love the cliffhangers, so it's going to be pretty brilliant. So I've played ahead a fair amount. I know pretty much all of the cemetery stuff now, so this should be pretty fun for us. Remember our quest right now, we're trying to find another rock face, and I'm actually going to try and get the game kind of quickly today so we can get to that, make some nice progress, considering yesterday we didn't have too much either. There's also a lot of weird, cool lore that we can get here. In the way of graves, we are in a large cemetery, so there'll be a lot of interesting little things we can read. I believe some of this is to do with a riddle for later, so we'll try and remember as much as we can and just, you know, talk about it a little bit. But first of all, we find one that says the hub right here. So, basically, there's going to be a way for us to get back into the hub. Remember, one was in the cemetery. And over here, you actually see a key slot. Well, we want the key for that, and it will create a teleporter exactly where I'm currently stood, allowing us quick travel back. So that's our first order of business. I will just point out on the map, guys, we have obviously already explored a little bit of the cemetery before. Now we're into it properly, though, and you'll find it's actually not that big of a zone. We'll be going underground again pretty soon. Let's use our spell here. There we go. And apologies for the little edit there. I decided that because it is the middle of the night, I probably shouldn't have my game volume up so loud. So, we're going to do a bit of a walk over on the left. Now, the left will get you straight away something pretty cool, which I'll show you guys, and the key to the hub. So that's what we're going to do. Every time you find a grave, you can read it. So this one says, an unknown shaman lies here, swept on the shore by the waves, too weak to talk, but powerful enough to curse us all. Kind of makes me think of, and this is definitely only because I've been looking, The Hobbit's coming out in theaters. It's already out, actually, and I'm totally getting ready to watch the third Hobbit movie at some point this week. But, I've been watching, like, the making of The Hobbit, and there's this whole thing about, wow, hello. Hey, it's a twig root guy. So those little dudes we can totally own now. But apparently those things can call a lot of attention to you if they use like the right ability, so you want to kill them quickly if you encounter any of them out here in the cemetery. Anyway, yeah, there's this whole bonus feature about Christopher Lee and how he did his lines for The Hobbit and how old he is now and how the guy's like a real life spy and all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, that thing makes me think of, remember, we can dig in front of every single grave, so there's actually going to be a fair amount of dig in this episode. It's funny because last episode someone said that they couldn't figure out the bonus secret we went for back in Twigroot Forest because they didn't consider digging, and you know, I can understand that because we haven't really done much digging for a while. Over here we get another one. This is Kalma, an obedient servant, never spoke a word. A lot of these things, I feel like I should look online for trivia. It almost pains me to record episodes without knowing 100% what's going on, but it seems like they're reference vaguely-ish to things. I'm not 100% sure. Here you'll see we do kill these little gremlin dudes very quickly, but already you've noticed something. Loto Patho has taken damage, while Jonka has not. This is going to be a huge thing. Loto Patho really needs to start sucking up. We need to be careful because this dude will die a lot. It's okay though because we're surrounded by the undead here. Maybe we'll learn a thing or two about death, and maybe that will make the rest of the game really easy. This next grave is of Muriel Riddle, who says that she ended her life in the Red Hills in the towns of Adiamon. Puzzles and mysteries meant everything to her. So we're going to hear about a lot of locations in the universe in this episode, the upcoming episode, that we may never visit in this game. Okay, I'll just say that straight away. Adiamon, where is this? Who knows? Somewhere on the mainland, probably. But puzzles and mysteries meant everything to her. See, I feel like this could be a reference to, you know, a daughter of one of the developers or something, I don't know, that loves the riddles in the game, or some inspiration one of them had. I don't know. Because obviously, the guys that made this, they're not English. A lot of this stuff may just be language barriers. I'm not 100%. So as you can see, we're kind of just worming our way along. Really, we haven't actually had any choice of where to go. We've just had graves. And otherwise, we're being funneled in one specific direction. Over here, we've got some Falcon Sky, so we'll grab that. It's kind of pleasant being out here in the graveyard because none of these walls, as far as I know, and I'll be very upset if it's not true, none of these walls actually have secret buttons on them. So it's almost like we're in a dungeon, but we're not, and that's really fun. So here we find a power gem. Yeah, guys, we find a power gem, a 5th power gem. It's okay, though, because there's a sack on the floor in there, and we'll have all 5. So we're going to grab that. That's the first order of business for the episode. So how do we do this? Well, we want to open this gate. We found a button. Does the button open the gate? Ah, no, it doesn't seem to. And over here we find another button. Does that open the gate? No, it doesn't seem to, but you will notice we've got a bunch of trapdoors that we can manipulate using these buttons. First thing we should do is probably climb down. Now, as I explained to you guys in a previous episode, my first time ever coming to the cemetery, I don't know, I was in one of those moods where I just couldn't like sit down. I couldn't commit to figuring out the puzzles, and so I kept finding things like this and really winged it, but I now know them fully. I've done it again. So we found some cheese here for Tikrit. We'll eat that. Over here you will notice actually we have still got 2 eggs. I ate one of these eggs off screen. There's a certain someone, some of you guys might know, apparently has started watching the series. He's been marathoning it. Mr. Matt Visual keeps talking to me about the turtle eggs. He really wants to see Loto Patho eat the turtle eggs. Well, Matt, I did it off screen, so have fun with that. Maybe when he next gets hungry, we'll eat another one. So yeah, we just come into this small room. Pay attention here. We've got a teleporter that takes us out. We've got another one, but it's blocked off. The only way out here, there's no secret buttons, just takes us back up to where we were. So this is just a failure state. You don't want to fall down, okay? So what do the 2 buttons do? Well, every time we press one, you'll hear the movement of these trapdoors opening and closing. And so the way that this works, okay, is you have 2 different trapdoors that will always be closed. And this button over here controls where one of them is located. And this button over here controls where the other one's located. So by pressing this button a lot, we've managed to close this here, okay? So this trapdoor, just think in your mind's eyes, this trapdoor is connected to this. Every time we press this button, this trapdoor moves around, see? And now if we press it again, it will go further up. And then it will just keep working its way around, and we'll click it a few more times until you see it come back. So we've got 1. Well, we want to obviously make some progress, so why don't we put this here, like so. Well, now we want to step forward, but we're stuck again. So if we press this button, you'll notice that there's actually another trapdoor that we're moving, which is now here. And we'll press this here, so they're technically both here at the moment, and then we'll press it again, and you see it's off over there. And so now we have access to this button. So what's going to happen when we press this button? Well, you know, we may get injured for this, but I'm going to press the button anyway. Looks like we fall. Okay, did anyone... Oh, thank God we didn't get injured. Good. That's the only time I'm going to fall, and I did that for your guys' demonstration entirely. So, it gets a little bit more complicated now. Now we realize that both of these buttons on the left can only be doing one thing. And that thing is that they are both affecting the same trapdoor. So every time we press this button, we need to move this trapdoor around now, right? And I'll demonstrate. So there you go. It's there. Now it's next to us. And now we press it once more and it'll be over there. Okay? So if we press this button, it's basically doing the exact same thing as this button. So this button just moved a trapdoor under us. But if we press this, it's going to move and immediately make us fall down, which isn't what we want. So you want to orient it instead so that this trapdoor is the one we're stood on, so that when we press this button, it won't open up. Now, that should make sense to you guys in a second. So we're going to move this trapdoor, so now we can't get over there, and both of them are on that one section, right? Now we're going to come back over here and pull this one to the side. We're going to move it. 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 And now when we come over, when we press this button, it's not going to move the one under our feet because that's associated with that one over there. Instead, it's going to move this one under our feet. So we won't see this won't open any further direction. It will just strand us. See? So now we're here. But if we press it again, it will continue moving along and we're free to go along. And again, going anytime you fall down is a failure state. I spent a lot of time on my first time coming through here using the rope, climbing down each square. It really doesn't mean anything. So, that's the first little bit. We find another grave here. I'm getting like some weird FPS stuff. Actually, earlier I was rendering a video and my PC blue screen. So that was pretty lame. And now it's clocked a bit worse. So if that happens every now and then, I'm sort of in the midst of figuring things out. Anyway, so here we got Bashan of Zaffi, exiled from the tomb. So we've actually got people from all over, I guess, being buried here. This was one of the members of the Zaffi. So we'll step back. It's a grave. We'll use the shovel. Now, the mechanics here with the graves are quite simple. The idea is essentially that there is a loot table of a variety of things that can appear. You can get a bag of food. You can get like leather gloves. There's like maybe 6 different things that can appear. And an enemy is one of those things. And every time you dig, you just roll the dice. So this is one of those rare randomized things in Grimrock where one file you get very different things to other times. There's always that risk, just like with mimics, that maybe it will be a mimic or maybe it will be a real chest. And here, either way though, if you think about it, even if it is a fight, yes, it's kind of dangerous, but it's like, hey, you get a reward of experience or you get a reward of a potion, and so on and so on. Anyway, so what's going on now? Well, it looks like we want to keep going. We want to get to this button here. So, what do we want to do? Well, if we were to try and press this again, what would happen? This would move to here, which would be good because then we could, but we would also be stranded. So pressing this button doesn't actually do anything, right? So through a process of elimination, we know that we have to press this button, which again is going to move the same thing, but we won't be stranded. So it's going to do the same thing. Now we can't get back, but we can come forward just a tiny bit. Now what's going to happen if we press this button? Well, if these two or these three buttons were all affecting the same pressure pad on this side, wouldn't it make sense that this button is also tied to the same trapdoor? So in theory, by pressing this, it will move that one back there, forward, and then basically onto us. So here we go. We're going to press it. And as you can see there, it's now moved. So now we can't press that. And here we go. You notice now, at this point in the puzzle, we really don't have that many options at all. So if we press it again, it will appear under us. And we press it one final time, it will appear over there. We can get all the way through. And by getting all the way through, we can pull the lever. And there's no way for you to know, but that's allowed us to get to the power gem. So hooray. All right, now, all we got to do is climb back down with the rope. Ah, yeah, you guys just heard that. That was kind of weird the way the sound design lagged out there. The gate we were originally going through, unfortunately, it swapped, so now we're stuck over here. So now we've got to do the puzzle sort of in reverse, I guess. Here, we'll cast our light again to get back out of the other side. So how is this going to work? Well, I guess I'm just figuring this out on my own now, actually, right now. This button we're safe to press. So what do we want to do? I guess let's move this one. One more? Two more? Yeah, one more. Okay. Let's move this one here. And then let's move the other one. Oh, no, that's not going to work, is it, if we do it this way? Now, if we press this, we're going to fall. So that's not correct. That's not correct. What we want is this one here. Oh, I've totally messed this up here, actually, haven't I? Because now we can't get back. All right, now we can get back. Okay, so we want to move this one over into... where are you at the moment? One more press? One more. Here we go. I hope you guys are following me here. I hate it when the commentary ends up like this and it's just me thinking out loud. Okay, so that's what we've got. And then we're going to go maneuver this one into position so that we can get... Oh, God, I'm not even pressing it. So that we can actually get to the next button. So here. Now, when we press this, we're okay. That's just going to move that. And we'll just rotate it around. And voila, we are safe. And there you go. And we can grab the power gem. This is not where I want to end the episode, so we're going to keep barreling on here. 5th power gem. Jeez, guys. It kind of shows, though, you know, as we rapidly draw to a conclusion here. We're going to grab this sack. This sack is actually pretty good. It's got a scroll of lightning bolt for Sannon. Now, I talked about the air magic thing. I don't know. Do we really want to do this? It only gives us this one spell if we do this. I'm happy with where we are with air magic. We can basically cast one of the most powerful spells in the game at some point, as he already is. But Sannon is going to be at a point now where next time he levels up, we're kind of like, well, what do we want to do? I was almost thinking of going like athletics or something so he could carry more stuff. If you guys want any input on anything in future, it can be on that where we're next going to spec Sannon. But here we find an antidote, which is nice, sort of. And we find the hub key. So hub key goes on to Lotopatho, and I'm going to keep this sack on him now because of all of these power gems. But never fear, we will very soon be able to cash those babies in. So we've got that. That's everything that occurs essentially on the left. Oh, we got a blood drip cap. Shouldn't have missed too much, I promise you guys. That's basically everything that happens on the left when you enter the graveyard proper after you've been through the gate. So it always pays off to go left first. That's not where we want to go. This is where we want to go. And it allows you to get back to the hub nice and quick over here. As you can see, we've got the hub key. Oh, throw it. Yes, there you go. Takes us back to the hub. So there you go. That's actually 3 of the 4 portals in the hub unlocked now. That's really cool. We're not going to dilly-dally around there, though. We come facing the wrong way. So what happens if we take a right? Now, I'm going to be pretty quick about this. We may not dig in all the graves just yet. The funny thing is, when you progress to a certain point here... Oh my god, I love just destroying those guys. When you progress to a certain point... the graveyard comes to life. I believe it's this point right here. There are now undead all around us. Now, we are sufficiently leveled to deal with them, I would say. But there are a lot of undead about, so we want to be very cautious about exactly what we're doing. This here is sort of the puzzle to progress, so I'm not going to bother with that one. We're going to come over here. Ah, hello. See, there's another guy. We're going to come over here. And this, again, like, stumped me, and I was, like, just zooming through everything. What have we got? Well, if we climb down... you'll find there's a ton more undead. They all appear. Plenty of easy experience, which we can nab for ourselves. Yes, mister. See, look at Lotopatho. Look, he takes like 14 damage a hit, frequently gets hit, isn't evasive enough to avoid it completely. And look, 27, and then Jonker will just shrug it off. He'll take 1s and 2s. It is crazy. I love that, though, because Grimrock 1 had serious scaling issues with the way that its RPG mechanics worked, in that it was just so much better to go pure evasive. There was enough gear for everyone to be pure evasive. The heavy armor dudes never really saw that massive payoff, and Jonker is seriously seeing that here. You know, it's how these two have swapped. Lotopatho started doing the insane damage with the backstabs and stuff, killing those enemies in the desert. And meanwhile, Jonker now has just become super tank mode. Jonker's not even a class that's really particularly good at tanking or anything necessarily, right? He's just a farmer. So anyway, this again is sort of like just a little trench that we don't need to bother with. This sack here has got a bunch of food. This is like sort of what you can dig up in graves, I suppose. I'm going to unequip all of that. Probably going to drop this sack. We don't need it. On my previous playthrough, I dropped the sack with all of the power gems accidentally here. Totally lost it, okay? And then I came back later. I was like, oh, what's this sack? Why didn't I pick this up? Opened it up, thought I'd hit the mother load. But, of course, it was just the sack that I'd lost without even really realizing. All right, so we're going to go up. Now, there might be some blood drop cap or something on the floor. We'll do that in a second. We're going to pressure pad, and we got all of these, like, gates here. Now, we want to prepare ourselves because we're going to have to do some quick shoot in here. So, we're going to have a torch. We're going to have a torch there, and we're going to have Tikrit with his bow, and this should be okay. Now, one thing to notice, as soon as you stand on the pressure pad, is behind you, 3 teleporters appear. And you'll also maybe hear something moving. Okay? But overall, it's like, what is really going on? You just get the horrible ambient sounds of the cemetery. Well, by standing on this long enough, eventually, you'll see the gates start to open. 1, then 2, and then 3. And so the puzzle here is we've got to fire through these 3 quick enough. But there is no way to predict which gate will open first. So you want to look in the middle and then like try and gamble or figure out left, right. And you've got to be very quick, okay? So the plan here is we're going to throw 2 torches and we're going to fire an arrow through one of them. You can't like use arrows for all 3 because Tikrit's cooldown's not going to come up. Another option would be to use like the blowgun on Jonker or Lotopatho or something. I'm not going to bother with that though. I think we should be okay here. So, alright, here we go. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, well, I messed that up. That was so bad. That was so bad. So now where did our thing go? Well, when we step on this, you'll notice it appears behind us and we pick it up. So basically these teleporters, when we fire stuff through, they're landing on those 3 areas there, which if you have a close look at actually now, you'll see that they are pressure pads. So the whole way that the puzzle works is you want weight on all 3 of those pressure pads. So here we go again. Bit of the inner workings there. Oh, no, no, no. That was bad. Okay, we'll just try it again. We'll just try it again. I actually had no problems with this before. I know that will be down the hole. We'll collect it again in a second. There you go. 1, 2, 3. And now that we've got all 3, we'll recollect our dart, which should have just fallen down here, correct? I think. Or wait, where did we miss the dart? There you go. Okay, we managed to get it. And now that you've done that, the gate on the other side will be open. And we get something pretty cool. So you get to come through, you get to reclaim any of your stuff if you want it. Obviously, we will want it soon, but by doing that, it's going to close the gate behind us again. But as we come through, we'll come into this big treasure room. Now, I'll deal with the treasure largely, probably next episode we'll start. So we'll return to here. You get a really cool scroll there that tells us some amazing new potion thing. I'm going to show you guys a potion, the Transmogrify potion, pretty soon. I'm going to start showing off some cool stuff. But here, most importantly, we will find a face. Oh my god, and a ghoul. And this face says, this is the friend, this is the guy. It says, every night the silent one sees something. Look where he looks and be patient. So we're being sent even further along. Look at this, it's ridiculous. Loto, you're gonna go back down there. Tikrit, I don't know why you did that. We can't fear these enemies, by the way, either, so we'll have to show that off at some other point. There we go. So let's remember this. What could this be telling us? Every night the silent one sees something. Look where he looks and be patient. Remember who we first spoke to or first was referred to? It was one of those faces, right? It was one of those faces that was completely mute and wasn't saying anything. You know, the silent friend. So apparently that guy sees something every night. We should look where he looks and be patient. Did I accidentally recollect one of these? We'll grab these again later. I've got to weigh them all down for us to get back through though. So, what say we try that? What say we end the video with that? Let's go back out of the graveyard now, back to Sleet Island, and see what we can get. Now, I told you guys on a previous episode, this whole thing has just been a thing about knowledge, right? Like, if you were to look this up on a guide, you could figure out very early, very quickly, exactly what to do. Like, there are YouTube videos out there of it, and you would skip just a huge chunk of the game, basically. All this stuff with the lexiconary and the archives, everything, you could just skip it. But this is the way you get the solution. You follow the faces, you follow the riddles, and here we go. So, the silent garnet, the silent one, is here. And if we look over here, what do we see? Well, not much, really. I mean, that's the broken bridge right there, yeah? You see? Okay. Alright, well, we'll look where he's looking, and how about we wait for night? We'll use our clock. Wow, this was high noon as well. We're waiting for a long time. No, the food issues. There's sunset. Okay. What is this? What is this? It's the trickster. And he creates a bridge. Go, 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 go. Oh my gods. That is the solution. And we could have done this at any time. Holy crap, guys. We're at the water shrine.